Hi, I'm Bob Weeks. When our city leaders make policy, we'd like to think that it's predictable, that they're being fair, and that they're being rational. And in an effort to live up to these qualities, the city uses things such as cost-benefit analysis to justify decisions. In 2012, last year, new homes were not selling well. We were told that there were many new unsold homes sitting vacant. So the local builders association came up with a proposal. They asked the city of Wichita to give up their claim to property taxes on these new homes for a period of 5 years. So now the city had to decide if this was a good policy. So the city ordered a cost-benefit study. It's done by Wichita State University. Here's the table that was delivered to the city. It has a lot of information, but only some of it was really used to make the decision. So I've excerpted the important numbers, the numbers that the city staff presented to the city council as a basis for the decision-making process. There are a few things to notice here. First of all, there's one column of figures that's the no incentives option or scenario, and another column that is the incentive scenario. In other words, these are estimates of what would happen if we don't use the incentive program, the property tax rebate, and another column, what would happen if we did use it. And we have estimates of the costs and the benefits to the city under each of these two scenarios. Here we have public benefits, and the benefits to the city are greater under the incentive program than if we didn't use incentives. These public benefits are things like sales tax revenues from construction worker spending, construction material purchases, and other types of property tax revenues. We also have public costs. Now, if the city doesn't use incentives, there is no cost of the incentive program. On the other hand, if we do go ahead with the incentive program, there are costs, in this case about $2 million, in the form of property taxes that will be rebated to the new home buyers. Then we see the net public benefits, which is simply the benefits minus the costs. And finally, we see return on investment, or the cost-benefit ratio. This can't be computed for the no incentive scenario because there was no investment being made and therefore no cost. For the scenario where the city uses incentives, the ratio is 1.48 to 1, meaning that for each dollar the city invests in this incentive program, it expects to receive $1.48 in return. And here's where we run into a problem. $1.48 return for each dollar invested. Now, by the City of Wichita standards, that's a good return on investment. It beats the city's threshold for approving these types of projects, which is $1.30. But look at net public benefits. Without using incentives, the city expects to collect about $2.3 million. But using the incentive program, the city expects to collect only $730,000, about one-third as much. Which would you rather have, $2.3 million or $730,000? Well, here's another question. Which rate of return would you rather promote to voters? One that can't be calculated, or $1.48 return for every dollar invested? So, which policy do you think the Wichita City Council chose on a vote of 6 to 1? Well, the council chose the incentive program. Council members, in justifying their votes, cited the return on investment, the cost-benefit analysis that you see right here. I really don't know whether to blame them or not, because here's what city staff provided to council members and the public. I'm not going to bother reading it to you, but it touts the return on investment, the $1.48 for every $1 invested, but not the net dollars. City staff did not tell the council that the difference between the two programs, the return on investment measured in dollars between the two, is this number here, minus $1.6 million. That's how much worse off the city will be under the incentive program. It will cost the city $1.6 million, even though it has a good return on investment. This is the difference between ratios and quantities of money, something evidently beyond what is taught to city planners, bureaucrats, and city council members. Oh, the city manager did say that this program would spur the home builders to pay their delinquent property taxes sooner rather than later. But is appeasing scofflaws a good economic development strategy? Here's the important question. Do you think the city should choose a program that returns $2.3 million or one that returns $730,000? Remember the goals of policymaking: to be predictable, fair, and rational, making decisions based on reason. What do you think about our city leaders? I'm Bob Weeks. You may find more about this and other topics at my website, The Voice for Liberty, at wichitaliberty.org. You can follow us on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos like this.